This video is brought to you by my friends over at Mantis Sleep. Mantis Sleep is great because if you're having a hard time sleeping, you can go and buy one of their sleep masks and you won't have as much of a hard time sleeping. They have all sorts of them. They have one that can connect to your phone. They have one that's weighted. They have one that has made of silk. I mean, they have plenty. So you can check it out on the website right now using the link in the description. And if you use my promo code JKBogan, you can get 10% off your purchase. That's Mantis Sleep, and you go and check them out. You won't regret it. Welcome back, guys. I'm Jake Ellenbogen, and today we're going to be talking about something a little different, just a little break from the draft. We'll have plenty of draft content. Don't worry, I've already been working night and day to basically get all that out. But we want to talk, or at least I want to talk about something a little different, because Locked In, if you're watching this, just dropped. I had a sneak peek look at it, so I was able to look before it went on NFL Network. So that's why I'm recording this ahead of time. So obviously, appreciate that. But I just wanted to give my thoughts. It'll be a quick video, just reacting, and you guys drop in the comment section below what you guys liked about the show. I just watched it, and I was really blown away by obviously the cinematography. Is and I get it, it's NFL Films, but it's also what the Rams, their media team did. I can't stress enough to have that access. That was so cool. So this was a really cool thing to showcase who I believe is the most underrated quarterback in the sport and has been for quite some time. Really like that. I really enjoyed watching him work, and just we didn't get a chance to see quarterback, and I reported that Matthew Stafford was going to be a part of the quarterback for season 2 on Netflix. Well, unfortunately, Matthew Stafford is the only one who had any interest in doing this at quarterback. I mean, we're talking about even the lower tier quarterbacks didn't want to do this. So, shout out to him for agreeing to this. Shout out to, his wife, Kelly. Shout out to, his kids and, his close friends, his chef, just all of it. I mean, the fact that people were willing to be a part of this is what gave us kind of that unprecedented access that we don't normally see, we don't normally get. NFL Films, you'll get sounds of the game and, mics up and all that, and that's great. But that's just in the game. Going away from the game. I was really heartbroken to see Carson Wentz in this as much as he was. He actually had a decent role in this. Just seeing him in the quarterback room with Cooper Kupp and Matthew Stafford, it sucked that they didn't bring him back. But, I think this team really, I thought they did a nice job. They decided to go and show you the end of the season during that run. And I actually like the way they did that, because I think starting from when they were, it starts when they're 3-5, going into 3-6. Sean McVay mentions how, essentially the world's doubting us. Let's prove them wrong. Only us, people in here, believe in this team. That's not true. I believed in you from the beginning and the end. But, obviously there was a lot of that. So I thought that was really cool. There's some interviews with Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp and Sean McVay. I thought this was really done nicely. I thought it was done tastefully. But I think, just showing those moments and who Matthew Stafford is. I mean, the guy is just an absolute baller. And, I also think people watch him on TV and he's not as rah-rah as some of the other quarterbacks in the league. And he's not constantly, begging for a penalty to be thrown. And I think because of that, there's this almost negative connotation towards him. Like he's this, not really much of a leader and, lead by example. That doesn't always go as well as the rah-rah type of guys. And I think this show does a good job of really showcasing who Matthew Stafford is off the field and on it. Off the field, he's a loving, father. He's a loving, husband and friend. On the field, he wants to take your soul. He really, he feels like, he's an assassin. And I mean, we saw that, throughout this show, if you haven't seen it already, definitely check it out. But, you can see that throughout the show. There's a point where, unfortunately, they look a lot at the playoff game at the end of the season and leading up to it. And actually, one thing I want to mention is when Stafford's going out there and he gets booed, he's like, all right, he's like, there you go. Like, I'm going to make you, I forget exactly how he worded it, but he's like, I'm going to just show them something and, make them wish they had me or something like that. And then Kelly goes, yeah, that was closure, because at that point I really wanted to rip their hearts out. And I love that she said that, because, like, look, I still have, believe it or not, I know there was a lot of, Lions fans that trashed me on social media and whatnot, but social media and YouTube aren't one and the same. While there's people on Twitter and stuff that come here and so forth, the most time, for the most part, the people on YouTube are the people on YouTube. They don't, stray. And so I still have Lions fans that follow me. I have to say, appreciate that. But, oh my God, watching that again is so heartbreaking. I'm still so bitter over that win, or the loss, rather, on the Rams side. But I think it really showcases how this guy is not just, in my opinion, he's not just underrated. He's not just one of the best. He is the de facto toughest SOB in the NFL. I mean, the injuries he's playing with, that's another thing. He dismisses pain. And to see that Lions game and to see from a lens that we didn't get during the broadcast, obviously, Matthew Stafford was dealing with ribs. He was dealing with probably some neck pain, I would imagine. He's dealing with the finger, the thumb. It's so hard to play quarterback at that level. It's so hard to play a game at that level, to play in the NFL. And he's doing it probably 50%, 60%. And what do? He just rose to the occasion. He rose his power level, if you will. Okay? And that is the beauty of Matthew Stafford, which is why I was so excited in the first place to have a show, for Matthew Stafford, because in doing so, you get a chance to showcase who he is. And yes, he might not have the personality of, necessarily Tom Brady or Eli Manning or Peyton Manning, that will get him in a booth, but I think he's underrated in that regard. I think he does have a personality, and I think, there were a lot of things to take away from this, and I like how they showed it, and I like how they, putting the NFL films and combining it with the off-the-field interviews and off-the-field stuff, and just as simple as him taking his kids to school and all that. I thought that was really cool. I thought it was awesome. So excellent job by them. I hope we get more stuff like this in the future, because this is a really cool idea. And Matthew Stafford, the way he ends it, saying he wants to win at least one more ring, if not two, it doesn't feel like he's going to be going out anytime soon. Now, anything can happen. Obviously, we know injuries and everything, but I think injury permitting, this guy's going to be around for a little bit longer than maybe you expect. He could retire after his contract. I wouldn't be surprised if he did. I also wouldn't be surprised if he stayed past his contract. But I like that it was a fitting tribute to what he's done and what they did, because the problem is, normally when you have that type of comeback from 3-6 to then, you go 10-7 and make the playoffs when everyone counted you out. I mean, you have to understand, if you don't win a Super Bowl, that stuff kind of gets brushed under a rug, and I think this did a nice job of almost preserving that. Not for you and I, we'll always remember that. That was a fun season. But I think it's going to do a good job of preserving that for other people, to actually get a glimpse into, okay, this is the adversity that they face. This was not easy. And I think this is a cool last thing where it's like, all right, that was the end of the season. We got our closure. I mean, we didn't get our closure because the Lions won. But we got our closure in that we got to see that. And the world gets to see that. So I'll be honest with you. I'm very, very excited for this upcoming season. I'm very excited for Matthew Stafford, who Sean McVay referred to as a guy who is aging finer than wine, and essentially was saying that he continues to get better at, of age. And what I will say is this: statistically, that might not be the case, but I feel like he is able to rise to the occasion in some of the toughest moments, and it's gotten more evident since he's gotten older. So maybe that's just my bias, but at the same time, I don't really think I have a bias, because if you guys have been following me for long enough, then you know this is Matthew Stafford. This is a quarterback that I wanted the Rams to get, 5 years before they got him. Like, I wanted him in 2016, before, they decided to actually get Jared Goff and draft him. Instead of trading up, I wanted Matthew Stafford. I kept saying that. Then I wanted him, the following year. There were so many times where I just wanted Matthew Stafford. So it feels like a dream come true, the fact he won the Super Bowl and everything, but I don't think they're done. I don't. And you can sleep on this team all you want. You can say this team without Aaron Donald, whatever. I didn't see Aaron Donald once in this, by the way, which was kind of sad. But you can say what you will about Aaron Donald being done and all that, and it's going to hurt them. I don't think it's going to hurt him as much as you think. He's a fantastic player, most dominant player I've ever seen. With that said, there are other ways to win football games. There are other ways to adjust to not having a certain player on the field. And it might not be the football that you're used to watching. It might not be the defense you're used to watching. There might be different things they have to do. They might have to do things, work a little bit harder. But I think they can do it. So hopefully we get a nice draft from the Rams. They have an opportunity to do a lot of different things, like a lot of different things. I mean, they could get really creative with this thing. But after last year's 14 picks, about half of them panned out right away. The emergence of Kyren Williams, the emergence of Puka Nacua, Kobe Turner, signing the guys they did with Cam Curl, Darius Williams, Trey White, bulking up that offensive line, not just bringing back Kevin Dotson, no, bringing in Jonah Jackson, who played in that Lions game, and then moving Steve Avila to center. It's a new look offensive line. That might even be more new look, depending on where they go in the first round of the draft. So my thoughts are this. I'm not about to say that they're winning the Super Bowl or anything like that, because I need to see what they do in the draft before I even make any assumption like that. But I will say that this got me excited. This did its job in that, I think it preserves a great in-season story, and I think it does a great job of showcasing and promoting Matthew Stafford and who he really is. So those are my thoughts. Did you guys like the show? Did you guys like the documentary? Let me know. But Locked In, I was locked on to Locked In, or I was locked in to Locked In. And I felt very good about watching it. There's something about any Rams cinematic content like that. I mean, you're talking about a TV show now. We all like our shows and whatnot. But the Rams have been such a focal point of not just my brand, but my life. If the Rams lose on a Sunday and, I have to go to school on a Monday, my whole week is ruined. And that happened, newsflash, that happened a lot when I was a kid. But it's cool to see them on the big screen. It was cool to see All or Nothing. It was cool to see Hard Knocks twice. Now, I thought this was really cool to see. So if you haven't already, check it out. Let me know in the comments section what you thought of this. Again, big shout out to the Rams media team. They did an excellent job. They worked tireless, beyond the normal hours. They're getting these these early 5 a.m. shots. They probably had hidden cameras and stuff, but a lot of this stuff, people had to be there filming. So keep that in mind. Don't take any of this for granted. What you just saw in an hour is essentially I mean, hours upon hours upon hours of footage and, combing through and color grading and editing and cutting it down. I mean, like I said, thing of beauty. Love it. As a content creator myself, absolutely love it. And I hope we see more of it. So again, thanks so much, guys, for tuning in. I'm Jake Ellenbogen. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment on your way out. And also be sure to follow me on all social media at JK Bogan. Keep it right here on this channel if you want more Rams-related draft content and anything else Rams. That said, I'm out. Take care, folks. Later. Do you love talking about the Rams, the NFL, or just want to be a part of a community? Join my free Discord server today. We're over 800 members. We got 24/7 live chat, a level 3 boosted server, the ability to call into JE Live, playing online games with us on Kick streams, toggleable alerts for when I go live on YouTube or Kick so you don't miss a live stream, and exclusive giveaways. Click the link in the description, the comments section, or the link that comes up in the video to learn more and join today.